Hi, Marcus.
Hey, Marcus.
I think we wait a while, about 8:05, then we start, all right?
803 lah.
It's about,
803 lah.
yeah.
803,
8:03, okay, can.
802,
3
803,
minutes.
yeah. Let's not
Okay, fine.
people who are
Another 3 minutes.
early.
Sure. Yeah, we start probably in another 2 minutes time, right? Wait a while, more people coming in.
Okay, shall we start, Marcus?
Shall we start?
Yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Today is the DLC trilogy, the second session. My name is Marcus To. I'm a stockbroker in PhillipCapital, and today we have Marcus Ng from Societe. Maybe Marcus, you introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good evening. So this series that we're doing with Phillip Securities, Societe and Phillip Securities, it's about how to share more about the DLCs, as well as hearing from the traders themselves, such as Marcus To. How do they trade the DLCs? How can they use it to enhance their potential return? So in this session, we will start off with Marcus To. He will bring us through some of his sort of approach to trading, not only the stock itself, but also to trading the DLCs. And then after that, I'll take the second part of the presentation to share with you guys more a bit about what the DLCs are in a nutshell, some of its key features and its key benefits, and also happy to field any questions that you might have. So please do put in your questions in the Q&A. We'll be happy to answer, take the last 5 to 10 minutes of this session to answer those questions. Okay, before we start, I think this one highlight that we have, there is a promotion for the DLCs that POEMS is currently doing. They are having this trade DLCs and get $200 cash credit promotion. So this is for new DLC traders, those who have not traded at DLCs in the past 12 months. So if you have took a long break and have not traded DLCs in a while, you can still be entitled to this cash credit. If you've never traded DLC before, then definitely you are entitled to this cash credit as long as you fulfill the requirements on trading some of the DLCs. All right, so scan the QR code and you'll be able to be directed to the promotional page on poems.com, or you can just key in the URL below there, poems.com.sg/DLC-promo. Okay, we'll flash it again later at the end of this session. So don't worry about it as well. Okay, Marcus, you can go ahead with yours first.
All right, thank you. I was actually called upon to do this DLC webinar, and I thought it's something that I like to share as well. So I'll start on with the next slide. So disclaimer, blah blah blah. So as per normal, We are not liable for anything. We just share as much info. For me, I'm a stockbroker. I'm an active trader. I'll just share what I've been doing lah. Okay, at least over the last 2 weeks or so. All right, it's more practical this way. So I'd like to start with this first slide. The first slide is like what I said. Active trading is like stalking a prey, knowing the prey intent patiently, waiting for their move, and getting ready to pound for the queue. Now, many times when I trade, okay, I have a trade plan, all right? And in this trade plan, I know roughly, or at least in the morning, I know what I intend to do. And when something happens, I know actively what is my next action, whether to long or to short, what's the size of the quantity, what is my target entry, what is my target exit, all right? So active trading, we really have to stop. It's not just like tikam, buy and forget. No, all right? That's not trading. Trading means you have a plan. Something happened. Before that thing happened, you already have a plan. All right? When it happened, you know what to do. All right? That is called active trading. And when you put in the plan, you execute the plan, make sure you get out. All right? Don't become halo effect, you know. Halo effect happens all the time for traders. When we make too much, then you think you're God already, and that's the problem, and the problem will start, okay? Or if the market goes against you, you know you're on the loss side, know when to chop, all right? Don't like it right. That's the tough part as a trader as well. So a bit of myself, I'm the active trader. I'm a trading representative. So I was one of the top TR for DLC trading. That was in 2020 when I got an award. And after that, COVID lockdown, and we don't have any more of this gathering. You see, nobody is wearing masks that time, right? So that was it. That's more about me. So in today, I'll be sharing with you what is my key takeaway. We will be looking at a view of the market based on the recent macro events, the corporate actions. I'll be sharing with you some of my trading that I've done, identifying key levels for DLC trading and risk management for DLC trading, which are all these are pretty important, and it's especially good if you know what you intend to do, all right? So I'll move on. So a view on the market right now, as everybody knows right now, the number one is there's a Ukraine war is happening, right? Russia-Ukraine war, and all this is leading to an energy crisis in Europe. You can see that right now for those who have not signed up plans with Capital Electric or anyone else, a fixed plan, you suddenly realize your electric bill has went up a lot. Lucky I signed up at 0.17, you know, but I cannot remember it's for 2 years or 3 years. And I got colleagues who got it at 0.35, and his bill just rocket a lot, right? And in Ukraine itself, you should understand that they are the so-called the granary of Europe, all right? They do a lot of farming down there, a lot of grain production down there. We are expecting a very serious food crisis in 2023. If you see recent newspaper, India also say they are banning exporting of grains, all right? So price is going to move up. In today's paper, you can see Malaysia going to ban chicken, all right? Live chicken or not chicken, maybe cow chicken to Singapore. So price is definitely going to go up, all right? And so in this crisis, how can we benefit from it? So you look out for stocks. There's, for example, recently when this thing happened, we are trading on the energy counters, right? Capital Corp was one, Sam Marine. Of course, Capital Corp got DLC that we can do, and coal stocks, you know. But we don't have Singapore coal DLC counters lah, but coal stock we can do. Right. Then next, we are seeing that rising in US interest rate. Interest rate goes because US need to curb the amount of money. You know, they got to start to collect back all their paper money. You know, so they're going to raise interest rate. Interest rate going higher. They got higher inflation, and of course, this will lead to weaker growth. And when there's a weaker growth, we always play safe. We along the defensive counters like telco, utilities, healthcare, consumer counters. We long the commodity stocks, you know, but we will short all the rate sensitive growth stocks. If we follow the US market, you can see that all the growth stock, especially the tech counters in US, dropping off pretty fast. All right. So these are opportunities for us to participate in this plan. And of course, for Nasdaq, okay, there is a short Nasdaq DLC that you can do. when to enter, of course, we look at the charts. For me, I'll look at the charts and we'll move on to see where's a good level. Later, I'll show you as well. Now, then we have this China, they are still maintaining a zero COVID strategy. And suddenly on the 29th of April, they suddenly relaxed technology grip stocks. That happens on about 11:53 a.m. Sadly, I was overseas and I totally missed the opportunity because when the China announced this thing, all the tech stock, Alibaba, Meituan, Kuaishou, all these also got DLC. Suddenly it just fly. All these stocks just fly. When I stop for all this, for example, they instantly on the same day they fly up 10%. The DLC, those that I long, goes up. It's 5 times leverage for those Alibaba or Kuaishou or Meituan. It goes up by 5 times leverage. That means if the stock go up by 10%, the DLC goes up by 50%. This kind of profit is once in a lifetime. It comes, you make sure you're there. That's why I say you must stop your prey. When this thing happens, you instantly in your mind, you know what you need to do. All right. And of course, the next sad thing we recently faced, that was only recently this month also. For those who follow crypto, the Lunar crypto crash, the Lunar and USDT, there was a big crash. And I thought we are quite safe, because stock was not really doing much. But suddenly in the afternoon at about 2 p.m., the whole market in Singapore, all counters just whacked down. I would say all, but most of the counters just whacked down. One of the REIT I was following suddenly also came off badly, So and you happen to have the lunar chart, and you're watching because I look at all these things. I look at crypto closely as well. They affect the equity market quite closely, so we need to see where the big money is moving. So when that thing happened, I was not around. I was and of course, you suffer some losses, right? Of course, we did some recovery recently. Now, next thing we see that Singapore, we are finally opening up, all right? And Singapore Airport also said they're hiring 6,000 more employees. Crowd everywhere. I'm quite sure right now you go to any local restaurant, it's super crowded. All right. So what are the counters that is benefiting from all these things? Of course, in your head straight away, Genting will benefit. There's a Genting DLC. SIA will benefit. There's a SIA DLC. Then there is Singapore Airline Terminals, Singapore Airline Terminal Services. There's also a Singapore Airline Terminals DLC. All these you can look at them. You can trade. All right. And why I would buy selected DLC is simply because the cost. All right. For example, SIA maybe right now is $5 plus, but the DLC is only doing like maybe 60 cents, 70 cents, and it's something of as a plan. If I believe in the longer view, if I take a view, say a 1 month view on SIA, I believe SIA will go up in the next 1 month of time. I will be buying some of the DLC as well. All right. We can look at this later. The last one I want to highlight is it's not confirmed, but it might happen. Okay, so because the US also knows that all these tariffs is also hurting their own US economy. All right, so Biden, you never know, they may do a reverse. All right, may lower their tariffs on China. So if this thing happens, previously when it hits them, so a lot of the Chinese stock got whacked. A lot of the Hong Kong stock also got whacked, and a number of these Hong Kong stocks are also listed, also a DLC traded in Singapore. To make it simpler, okay, if you do not know what stock to look at, there's a Hang Seng Tech DLC, okay, Hang Seng Tech DLC you can look at. So if something like that happens, you know what to buy straight away. It has to be in your trade plan, all right? Okay. Now, so a lot of people will always ask, Marcus, how to buy, what to buy, very confusing, So I will just say that, okay, very simple. Okay, when you start off, right, maybe for people who started, there are plenty of chart patterns that's available on the Google. Okay, you can Google and just type chart patterns, and you can see we use technical to guide us. All right. For me, I actively trade, and I'll use a 3-minute chart pattern, which suits me quite well. All right. So you can see this thing called like a 3 white soldier. After the market came off badly, then suddenly there's a reversal. All right, the first one that crossed the low end here, go higher, is an entry opportunity for me. I'll start to look at them. All right, and I will try. And once I try, the second one goes up higher, I know I'm right already. All right. And the third one, I know it's time for me to take profit. Because for me, I'm doing 3-minute charting. So by the 9-minute or sometimes the 10-11 minute, I will exit my position. My objective is very simple, just to make money. I'm just a trader. Okay, we take opportunity. This thing can work on index stock. It can work on in this index DLC as well. No problem, because I tested them and they're okay. So all these whatever patterns you can learn from all the books, anything you can look up for trade patterns, and if a pattern like this happen to hit a particular stock and they have DLC and you're interested to look at, you can use and try. I mean, you have to try. You don't try, you don't know. Correct or not? 纸上谈兵 no use one. Must trade, must key in the trade. Get a heart pumping a bit, then you realize whether you're right or wrong. Okay, if you keep hitting higher probability, say for example, every time you do this, you can get out of 10 trades, you do 7, you win 7 trades. You know this pattern suits you already. You can use it. All right. Of course, there are many indicators out there to guide you. I don't have so much time to guide you what kind of indicators to use, but then we'll try. Okay, you have to try. So I'm going to show you a few of my charts that I've been trading over the last few days. All right. Now this is Meituan. Okay, Meituan, and I actually traded Meituan on the 10th of May. 10th of May. All right. So you can see that after a downtrend, but this was not really a downtrend, but it happened to be. I was actually stocking this stock for a while. Okay. I was stocking it because it opens and it starts to climb. Okay. Then suddenly there was pullback, there was a reversal, and it climbed higher. I enter. Okay. And when I enter, of course, I got lucky and it went up three nice white soldier. And of course, I exit with a profit lah. All right. So not very big profit to shout, but it's a profit. All right. All right. So this is one Meituan happened to be on the 10 May. Okay. All right. Now this one was SIMSKI, Singapore Index Futures. You can see the trade. Actually, markets don't like me to do this, but it was just too tempting. I don't know what to do at that point in time. So it was the next day I was trading, and then I don't know what to trade. Then I saw this thing. I saw the opportunity came. You know, I want to long, but I couldn't find a DLC to long for so I actually went to short the SIMSKI. You know, I short the short. It's a 7x short. Okay, so I short it and I made a small profit from this. I don't encourage anyone to go and short DLC, because what if suddenly something happened you cannot cover? Okay, so I will say for people willing to take risks, who are active, then you do this kind of thing. If not, then don't do. Okay, but I'm just sharing with you. SIMSKI also can do, no problem. Okay, all these are just simply using. You can see that we are just using patterns like this. 3 white soldiers. You can find many. I just not everything I can show. Right, wherever I can, I'll show. All right, so we're done with this SIMSKI. Right. So it's very tough for me to tell people. A lot of people always ask me, Marcus, show me your trading record and things like that. So I just show them a record that was recently traded from 10 to 19th of May. This is not bragging or anything, I'm just sharing. Okay, I'm just sharing. Okay, so we start off with, of course, this one was A-REIT. I did an A-REIT DLC. Wow, I cannot make money on this one. So first trade, 420, 400, I lost some money, $420. Then I did again an A-REIT on the 17th. Sorry, I did a trade again on A-REIT on the 17th, and I sold it on the 18th, make some money, 1,000 plus. Good trade, Genting. I bought the 0.136, so at 0.141, 760,000 share, a few $1,000 profit here. Meituan was the one just now I showed you all, $500 profit here, I think. This was the Nasdaq I tried to long. The timing was not correct. It was still down. And Yang Zijiang, no, not Yang, this is Yang Zijiang DLC also have. Recently, Yang Zijiang went out a lot. And this was also SIMSKI earlier I showed you all. Right? Okay. So overall, still lucky that I still make money. Can make more if I've been shorting it. All right. Yeah. So this one was I was told to maybe show you all what is my current trade plan. and I was intending to do some Nasdaq. This is a Nasdaq futures chart, and I intend to short, do a short position on Nasdaq. If I'm looking to buy some, the ticker is CXEW, Nasdaq 5X short. All right, sorry, okay, CX short. And of course, when I short it, ideal situation is if it comes to this channel and it fails to go higher, I'll do a buy on the Nasdaq 5 short. Okay, buy on the Nasdaq 5 short. Hopefully, I'll make some money here. All right. And this was actually I did this drawing this morning. All right, this morning. All right. And this is for Simski, MSCI, same thing. All right, looking more for short than the long. I'm not very bullish for the month of May. Basically, I am bearish for the month of May. And when we are bearish, it's easier to make money in the bear market than the bull market. Because bear market, when it drop them fast. 3 days,搞定晒. Sometimes stock goes up, take 1 month, 2 months to go up, but short when it drop 1, 2 days, 搞定晒. So short is easier, but of course, some people we use this short. Sometimes we have a lot of equity position. We want to hedge. We see our equity position dropping. We do some shorts on the index. We feel a bit better lah. Make some money from here to cover. Wipe down the losses here. Right. Now let me go back here. So this one is on the Simski. All right. I want to highlight by this. Let me stop the screen here while I'll go to another one. 1 second. Let me show you. This is on the Simski. Stop sharing. And 1 second. Is this how I do it? Okay. Share screen. Okay. Now we can see this thing. Right. So this was on today the Simski. Okay, on the today's Simski, you see that I actually draw onto here. See, I say I want to short it, right? I was waiting for a higher end, and what happened now? Even lower. Even lower. So if you have did at a short and it maintained this way the next day, I'm sure you'll make money on your Simski short position. All right. So this is on all right. Let me move on to the next one. This was Yang Genting, which I recently did a long. All right, make some money from here. All right. Ascendus was a tough one because actually I bought somewhere around here on the DLC. Next day it opened, it goes higher, exit. I don't want to love them too long. It was not an easy thing. Why I even bother to trade Ascendus? Because it has dropped number of days. At least easily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. From here top is at least 13 days. All right. And I think potential reversal. And at the point the market there was an opportunity. I'll just give a try. All right. So let's go back to the slides. 1 second. Share screen. Come back to which one again? Here. All right. Okay, I'm back here. All right. So now we move on. Now risk management. When we are doing the DLC, okay, trading DLC, you have to understand DLC. The SocGen offer 2 types. One is index DLC, that means like Simski DLC, Nasdaq DLC, S&P DLC, Hang Seng Tech Index DLC, Hang Seng Index DLC. Okay, and all these they have an airbag of 10%. Later Marcus will share more. There's also a single stock DLC airbag, which is 15%. What does it mean? It means that if the stock, if you do a long position on a DLC stock, for example, Alibaba, and Alibaba, the single stock itself, 1 day drop 15%, it will trigger an airbag. Okay, this thing is something you have to know. All right, and of course, for me, when I'm trading it, if a stock suddenly move against my position, okay, I will try to move very fast as well. I will not wait for it to drop 15%, then I cut off my position. Sometimes they'll take 1%, sometimes 3%, maximum risk tolerance per person. There is no hard and fast rule. There is no much percentage you do and things like that. It really up to individual, but try to keep it consistent. If you think that you cannot take it when the stock move against you, also it depends on the size. Right? If you buy too much and it suddenly goes against you, you cannot take it, just get rid of it. You come back another day. Don't worry about it. The market is always there. Monday to Friday, market is always open, right? Unless got public holiday lah. So for me personally, if the trading environment for that day is suddenly change, I will not hesitate to cut. Do not write losses. Okay, I personally write losses before, and it's not fun. It's very painful. Okay, so if you think the market is against you, you sell the position. If you are willing to, and you believe it's going down even further, all right, traders, we will double shot. That's if you're there. All right, we'll sell more, but make sure on the same day cover back. All right, that's what I will do. So always remember, if you don't sell, other people will sell. No choice. It's not that you don't want to be a good person or what. It's not that good person or what, but if you don't do it, other people will sell. No choice one. You cannot control what other people tend to do. One. All right. So that's all I have for you all for today. It's about very fast, short 25 minutes because I don't want Marcus to speak more. So if you're interested to open an account with me or know more about me, I think there is this, what is that called? Something for you all to scan and you all can open an account with me. Then we can talk more in details. All right. So we'll hand over to Marcus. Marcus can move on the Q&A can come in shortly also. No problem. Okay.
Yeah, any Q&A, please. This one actually. Oh, sorry, not this one.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you can just come in the Q&A as and when we are speaking. But we'll also try to answer them at the end of this session.
We can hear each other. There's sound, right? Someone was saying no sound.
Yeah. Should be okay, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I'll pass it to you.
Okay, thanks, Marcus. So I think it's really great to hear from Marcus Stowe, who has been a supporter of the DLCs for the last 5 years since it was launched on SGX 5 years ago. So I think he's definitely already expounded on all the key features of the DLC, the key benefits, and how you can use them. He is a really active trader. 5-minute chart. I don't know whether people can do that. I don't know whether I can do 5-minute chart or 3-minute chart.
I don't
it might be too crazy for
5
me.
minutes. 5 minutes can be too 5 minutes is really too long.
Yeah,
Let's put it this way.
In 3 minutes, it's like you can see it move like crazy. It's like
no,
I mean I've done FX before. It's like 3-minute chart. It's like wow.
No, I want to say one thing is if I'm actively trading, right? If you put in a trade, my record is if I can usually I make money within the 15 minutes. If I don't make money within 15 minutes, I know I'm dead already. So better get out. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, one person was asking, is this DLC same as CFD? It's not. Okay. It's not same as CFD. For CFD, you got to put money, then you can trade, right? For DLC, you don't have to put money, you also can trade. Right? Based on your trading limit.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean that's contra. So you can do contra with DLCs. But I was just saying, in a sense that Marcus Stowe is a quite active trader and really like scalper to a certain extent. He can trade quite a lot. So you can use the DLCs for intraday trading because and scalping as well, because it does give you the enhanced return. So even if the stock only moves like 0.5% or 0.2%, right? It's already a 1% move on the underlying on the DLC. So you can potentially make some nice copy money up and down, and scalp throughout the day as well. But you can also use it for swing trades. So maybe more for like myself or my peers, when we don't look at 1-minute chart, we don't have 2-minute charts. Maybe look at 4-hourly charts or we look at 1 or daily charts. That's where you can really try and ride it for maybe a few days or overnight. So you can use the DLCs for that as well, for a midterm trade. But definitely the DLCs are short-term trading. So you can do intraday trades like Marcus Stowe, or you could do a few days or a few weeks on the DLCs. But please do not buy and hold the DLCs. As what Marcus mentioned just now, risk management is very important. If it's not going your direction, cut. Okay. I wish I had cut on some of my investments back then, but now it's a bit too late already. But then cut and be disciplined on that front. So on the DLCs, it is different from CFDs. To that question that we had just now. So CFDs are an OTC, over-the-counter kind of instrument that is not listed on any exchange, whereas the DLCs are listed and traded on SGX securities market. All right, which means you can access it through your POEMS account directly. You can trade it on your POEMS account, and you can trade like a stock. You can trade like a DBS stock. So on the same platform that you trade your DBS stock, you're going to search for the DLC counter code, and then you will be able to retrieve the DLCs, and you can buy and sell that DLC as you would do the same for a DBS stock, for example. And like Marcus mentioned, you can contra trade the DLCs, and you can also short sell the DLCs. But please do not short sell the DLCs. We do not have to go into the buying market to help you to get out if you don't cover in time. So whatever it is, you either buy the long DLC or you buy the short DLC. You never ever.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to buy. It's not that I don't want to buy the short DLC. If the price is right, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but this is risky. It's risky. So only if you're as sophisticated or as savvy as Marcus told, please try not to short sell the DLCs lah. We'll try to make sure our shelf is good enough that you have both a sensitive long and short DLC to trade with at all times. All right. I just want to quickly show.
Oh yeah. I just want to add one thing. DLC, you can also, like what I say, if you do an investment, you can. I would say writing for a month is okay. Why I say that, for example, if you have a trade plan, the trade plan is, for example, banks. Banks every quarterly they come out their results, right? Their quarterly results, right? So that maybe OCBC or DBS is going to do very well. It will pop like $1, $2 when they pop the result, right? So maybe 2 weeks beforehand or 1 week beforehand, you can start to look at the DLC and buy and wait, right? Pick up, then when the result pop, you sell. That's it. Very simple. Huh?
Yeah. I think for the Singapore stocks generally can hold longer, because they're not as volatile. So the Singapore stock DLCs, we see that it is very much in line. If over the course of the month, the DBS is up by 5%, for example, but it goes like, it's just steady up, go a bit down, a bit up, a bit down, a bit up. And at the end of the month, it is 5% up. The DLC generally is also at, up by 5 times of that, so 25% up, the 5 times long DLC. But for Hong Kong stocks, which is very, very volatile, much more volatile than your DBS stock, DBS moves 1%, max 2% a day. Hong Kong stocks move 7, 8, 10% a day, possibly, even the large cap ones. So the gyration or the volatility, right, is can be quite extreme for the DLCs. So even if the stock, it goes up, down, 10%, 15%, 20%, at the end of the month, it's up by 5%, but the DLC might not be up by 25% because of the compounding effect, which I will share more on in our website later. But just be careful. You can hold a bit longer for Singapore stocks, but for Hong Kong stocks, I would encourage you guys to do very short-term trades. Yeah.
I just want to add one thing on Alibaba. Remember recently, Alibaba, the government say, they what did they do? They what?
Not the Ma one, right? Not the Ma, wrong Ma.
No, wrong Ma, that at that point in time, suddenly the stock when you open, it dropped 10%.
Yeah,
Then they come and say, oh, not the Ma Yun, but some Ma some. Then the stock lost immediately. Yeah. So when you have the news, suddenly when you saw the news like this and you saw the government coming in to say something more positive, you know what to do already. You straight away go and grab the DLC. The money just come in very fast. Provided you're there.
So opportunistic lah. Yeah, it's quite good. So if you are looking at a short-term opportunistic trade, then the DLCs can definitely give you a bang for a buck in terms of getting the enhanced kicker with as little capital needed as possible. Alibaba actually is our top trader underlying for the DLCs. Across all the different DLCs, Alibaba seems to be really the #1 trading sort of underlying. So the 5 times long and short DLCs on that quite actively traded as well. So much so that I have to keep refreshing, keep listing new ones for people to trade it. But it's also so volatile that's why the stock, the DLC sometimes can be it can go either very high, it can go very low price. You need to issue a new one.
I was on holiday.
Yeah.
I was not around. I was on holiday. Oh my god.
I think I was on leave as well. Okay.
Always, yeah.
Yeah. And let me just share with everyone the DLC website and keep it casual. So Marcus, please let's keep it conversational. I like this style. So keep it, anything you want to jump in and just talk about it, please do. The main point of today's session is really to hear experience trading the DLCs as well. The good, the bad, the tips, everything together. So this is our website, everyone. This is our DLC website, dlc.socgen.com. Okay, so you can come here and find out more information about DLC's educational information as well as the product terms itself. Just now we mentioned Alibaba, right? So you can look for under the products, search. Marcus, so you can see my screen, right? Can, right? Yeah.
I can see your screen.
Great. Okay, then you can see under underlying Alibaba. So we have quite a few long DLCs and short DLCs available on the Alibaba underlying stock.
Maybe from here we pause for a while. You can a number of you will be confused by what the long DLC. There's so many of them. Which one to trade? All right.
Yeah.
I'll make it simpler. Those that is extremely cheap one, 1-2 cent or even lower 0.1 cent, 0.2 cent. Just forget about them. All right. Don't do those. Do the one that is like 0.122 or 41.5, 42. Those are the more sensitive one.
Yeah. So if in doubt, you just look at the star over here. We try to make it easier for everyone to see as well. This star one. So this, if you are looking to long the Alibaba, you are bullish on Alibaba stock. You think you will do a short-term rise, then you can buy the Alibaba long DLC over here, DKCW. So this is a stock code over here, DKCW. SG is us, Societe Generale, the issuer. And then the star is over here. So you can look out for the star. So if you're long, you should choose DKCW. And for the short, you can choose the over here, DCFW. Okay, it doesn't mean that you can't trade like the 41 cents one over here, right? So the 41 cents one here is over here, DDOW. This one is still very much tradable. Just that this DKCW is more sensitive over here. So over here, under the sensitivity column, you can see that, over here, the sensitivity column, you can see that for every 14 cents movement on Alibaba stock price of 83 Hong Kong dollars, so 14 cents Hong Kong cents, this DLC will move by 1 tick, which is 0.001, okay, dollar value. Okay, whereas for this DDOW over here, the top one, every 20 cents Hong Kong dollar, Hong Kong currency move on Alibaba stock price, then this DDOW will move by 1 tick, but 1 tick over here is 0.005. Okay, and checks as the minimum bid schedule, below 20 cents is 0.001, above 20 cents and below $2 it's 0.005. Okay, so it means that this one can still be traded as well, just that this is a bit more sensitive. And all the DLCs will still give you that 5 times movement every day on a close-to-close basis, regardless of the price. Okay, but to choose the most sensitive one, especially if you are a scalper or active trader like Marcus Stowe, who trading 5-minute chart or 1-minute chart or 3-minute charts, you definitely want to choose the most sensitive DLCs, DKCW over here. All right, if you are long and if you're bearish DCF. So the Alibaba, I keep going to DKCW and I have a look at it over here. So Alibaba was down today, quite a bit. Actually, the whole Hong Kong market today was quite bearish. I actually don't know why, Marcus. So it's like stimulus plan come out already, right? Still dropped.
So the COVID one, they're still locking people down.
But
I mean, let's put it this way: it's really a very good opportunity because the moment the government lift the whole thing, I mean, right now they are trying to get a better vaccine, their own vaccine, So if all these things materialize and they can open up Shanghai, Beijing, or whatever place, then all this stuff will fly. Right now we are being depressed because China is pressing, right now.
Yeah.
So nothing will move very fast. Yeah. I mean, Singapore, we are already gearing to move, but of course our goods, the Taobao you buy is not coming to Singapore so fast. So my wife buy also take like 1-2 months to come. Wow.
Hey, not too bad. It still got come. That time a week ago, I ordered something from Lazada and then from China one. Then a few days later, they canceled my order. They canceled my order, man. And then they say they can't.
Never mind, at least they cancel your order. You still get your money back. Yeah. We ordered and still stuck in the warehouse. These are
right.
So you can see all these are crises, but crisis we can make money. Make money from. I mean, if goods are not moving, how can Alibaba collect the payment? Correct or not? Huh?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. But just today was quite surprised. I thought stimulus, okay, might have a green day. It was a bit green at first. Then wow, it sank in the afternoon. So sentiment is quite sentiment is quite bad. But hopefully, we can see some positive sentiment coming out of it. hopefully also fingers crossed we
Can't
won't
be too
revisit the
optimistic, I think. I'm sorry.
we won't revisit
Market is
the
still bad.
the
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully we won't revisit the 12 March low, etc. You know,
No,
let's hope.
I don't want to say this, but most people will always say sell in May and go away. But then don't know how true, but it
This
seems to
time
be
is different.
materializing at least for me. Okay,
The famous
we'll
saying.
see. Don't worry, I'll be ready to long. I'm happy to buy actually.
Yeah, I know Marcus still looks at some of the Hang Seng Tech in DLCs as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so and his team as well. So you can also look at the Hang Seng Tech index DLCs as well if you want to have a bit more of a
Hang Seng
broader
Tech is
exposure.
exciting. Yeah.
All right, so on this Alibaba DLC over here, just use this as a chance to explain, you know, how the product works. So you can see over here that Alibaba was down by minus 1.76%, right? So every day you get that 5 times movement. If the Alibaba is down by 1.76%, times 5 of that is close to maybe about 9%. Then the long DLC will be down by 9% because you got the direction wrong, right? Alibaba dropped, but then you bought the long DLC, so your value of the long DLC will drop. But on the other hand, if you actually bought the short DLC, then your short Alibaba DLC should be up about 9% as well. Let's have a quick look and see just to check. So you can see that short DLC over here, DCFW, yes, it's up by 10%. Okay, actually 1.08 lah. This is the last bit. Okay, so about 10%, it's up by 10%. So this is where the 5 times movement is on a close to close basis, right? Every day you get that 5 times movement of the underlying stock. If Alibaba is down by 1.76%, then the short DLC will gain in value by 10%, right? From its previous close. All right. This one is today's intrinsic close value. So every day the 5 times movement is based on this intrinsic close value. If Alibaba is down by 2% tomorrow, then 2% times 5, 10%, then this Alibaba will be up by 10% from this value over here that is today's intrinsic close value. Okay, this intrinsic close is something that we publish as the issuer every day on our website over here for each and every one of the DLCs. So this value is the value of the DLC minus all of the overnight costs and fees that is incurred when you hold the DLCs overnight. So if you are a scalper day trader like Marcus told, you can forget, you don't worry, Societe don't charge you anything, maybe just a spread only. So you don't get charged any overnight cost. But if you hold the DLC overnight in a few days, then you have the overnight cost, which is over here lah.
Yeah. I would say that for investors, sometimes they hold Alibaba share and they know that Alibaba is going to drop, but they feel the pain to sell the mother share. So this you can do an Alibaba short DLC, it's like hedge against your positions lah. How much to entry the quantity, of course you got to do your own calculation, but at least you are doing something better than doing nothing. All right. So I think this is important because I personally have clients who like to buy share, buy, then put in a warehouse, then don't do anything about it, And when they know the market is coming off, but they still don't want to sell, and if they don't want to sell, then I say you do a short on this lah, it's going to come down, then sell this, take some money lah. Then until they try 1 time, 2 times, oh, at least make some money, okay, feel better, my costs go down lower, okay, good. So this is an opportunity to do that, right? It's available for especially for clients who not wish to sell off their mother share. You can do a short using the DLC, right?
Yeah, so I mean, if you're not an active trader, you don't have time to monitor the market. You don't have time to look at the screen at candlesticks, etc. Well, you can be opportunistic. Like what Marcus mentioned, you can play like the earnings play. You can play on events that happened. If you see like the wrong ma got caught out, but then actually the government clarified that the correct is or someone clarified that it's the wrong ma, it's not Jack Ma, then you could possibly go in for a short-term long position. Or if you want to hedge your portfolio, so your overall investment portfolio, you can use the short DLCs to capture some opportunities in the market, short-term opportunities in the market with the DLCs. Right, so over here, the cost and fees. Generally, if you hold the DLCs for an overnight or a few days, it really is quite negligible, the overnight cost. And it's deducted from the price of the product itself. Like I said, the intrinsic close over here is the value of the DLC deducting away the cost for that one night for today for holding it overnight. If you bought it at the close and then you hold it overnight, this value is deducted from the product itself, from the value of the product itself to give you that intrinsic close. So you can see this is the dollar value 0.001111. So it's not a lot. It is 0.1% of the value of the DLC. But of course, this adds up. So if you hold it for a few months, it could really add up to quite a bit of overnight cost. That's why we say that this is still a short-term trading instrument. It's not meant to be held for long-term.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And then another tool I wanted to show you guys is also the price matrix over here. So over here, you can see the price matrix. All right. This price matrix will help you to see, how does the DLC move in line with the movement of the underlying stock, right? So over here, you can see that the DLC closed at 1.068 today, and the underlying stock, Alibaba, dropped. Closed at $83, 83.6 Hong Kong dollars over here, right, today. Okay. Then tomorrow, if Alibaba is goes, this one's a short, right? So if Alibaba drops by another 2% tomorrow, to $85.20, then this DLC will rise in value by 2% times 5, close to 10% over here. And then the DLCs, the SocGen's bid and ask over here will be around this value 0.966 tomorrow if Alibaba drops by 2%. On the other hand, if Alibaba rises by 2% over here to 82, got it the other way around. If Alibaba rises, if Alibaba rises by 2%, then the short DLC would drop to 96 cents, which is about 10% drop. But if Alibaba drops by 2%, right, then the short DLC will gain in value. So it will go up to $1.19 or $1.20. $1.17 over here. That's about a 10% gain. And that's where our SocGen's B and us, as the designated market maker for this product, will be quoting at about $1.17. All right, I just dropped this term designated market maker. So this designated market maker, we are the issuer. SocGen is issuer of the DLCs, but also the designated market maker. And this is means that we are regulated by SGX to ensure, or we are obligated by SGX to make sure that we perform market making activities throughout the whole day. We have to provide bid and offer quotes on all the DLCs throughout the whole day for investors to buy and sell the DLCs, all right? So sometimes you might see the DLC might not have any sort of traded value, right? Some of the DLCs, like you can say, you see there's a few Alibaba DLCs just now we saw, right? So some are traded, but some are not very traded. Like the short DLC today, no one wanted a short DLC. No one wanted to short the Alibaba. Maybe it fell too fast. Then there's no traded value, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't trade this DLC. Okay, so just take note, because we will be there still providing that bid and offer codes throughout the day, $1.08 on the bid and $1.09 on the offer for investors to buy and sell, right? And there's still sizable volumes on each side for you to buy and sell the DLCs throughout the whole day. So don't worry, you will never be stuck in that position where you can't sell or you can't sell back to us. Even though there's no traded value. All right. And just going back to the Alibaba example again, just another good point to highlight is also sold out DLCs. All right. We do issue a finite quantity of each DLC. So there are some cases where the DLCs can be sold out. All right. Sold out meaning that we do not have any more units to sell to investors. You can't buy anymore, but definitely you can sell back to us. All right. So you can see over here on the outstanding quantity, you will see that there is 100% and 100%, which means that we've sold out on these two DLCs, and then you can't buy any more of these DLCs. We will not be providing the offer codes anymore or the ask codes, so you can't buy anymore. But if you are holding a current inventory of it, you can sell back to us, as we will still be providing the bid codes for you to sell back to us. Okay, so when you are looking at the DLC to buy, generally look at the star for the most sensitive, but also watch out that under the outstanding quantity that it is not 100% or close to 100% sold out, in case you want to increase your position after that. Either you buy already, after you still want to buy some more, then you actually sold out already. So try not to buy those that are above like 70% or 60% in terms of outstanding quantity. Go for those that are below 50% outstanding quantity, should be safe. Okay. So this was the long DLC. You can look at the price matrix over here. And I wanted to just you can also see the underlying chart of the Alibaba stock over here. So yeah, this is not the one actually. This is sort of the DLC, the chart of the DLC itself. Yeah, so you shouldn't be doing your technical analysis. You shouldn't be looking at a 1 minute chart of the DLC per se. You should be looking at the chart of the underlying stock. So you can go under charts over here. Under here, underlying asset charts. You can also see our sort of it's a bit delayed, but I think it's good for you if you want to draw some lines and check the previous support level of the Hang Seng Index around like 18,300 levels, etc. So you can look for Alibaba. So you see we do have quite a lot of underlying stocks available on the DLCs, Singapore and Hong Kong ones. And then you can see Alibaba stock over here, right? So you do your technical analysis on this.
One thing why I just want to share, one thing why people do some of the Alibaba DLC is also because it at times it mirrors the Hang Seng Index quite closely. So when the Hang Seng Index suddenly spike, you can be quite sure Alibaba also spike. So when it's a very good plan, because when suddenly you see Alibaba move, if you are doing Hang Seng Index, you can buy that. Or if you suddenly see Hang Seng Index move, you can go and grab Alibaba. Vice versa lah. You must know what to grab, and take action.
You must know what moves with what. I think that what kind of news moves with our stock.
Correct. So at times Alibaba is an index counter, right? So I think it's a pretty big weightage lah. So all these plays a part. So whether you are doing a single stock or doing indices DLC or trading a single stock that is linked to an index, then you must know. If the market, for example, Singapore market, today is going to be very positive, very good, Genting is banks are index stock, you buy the banks, it should be on the way up, so yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then I wanted to also show you guys the compounding effect. So it's a very important feature of the DLCs. You can read more about it under our education tab, under compounding effect over here. Okay, but in compounding effect is a very unique feature of the DLC. It's what I would say separates it from CFDs as well. CFDs is, besides the fact that CFDs are margin products, whereas the DLCs are not margin. It is traded on hedge securities market. It's a cash product. It's not a margin product. But also compounding effect is unique to the DLCs, right? Compounding effect can work for you or against you, all right? And it's best to show you a very simple illustration, right? Compounding effect is same as, when you talk about money, it's a bit similar when, your savings account, compounded returns, etc. So compounding effect means that every day your gains and losses are locked in, right? So it can work for you in a strong trending market. If the market is going up 1%, 2%, 3%, up 1%, 1% for 5 consecutive days, you can have that enhanced return more than 5 times that leverage factor because of the compounding effect. So in this example over here, you can see that Hang Seng Index was up by 1%, 2% on day 1, 2% on day 2, another 2% on day 3. So 3 consecutive days of 2%, right? Overall, it's up by 6% on day 3. Whereas the 5 times long DLC is up every day 5 times, like what the product is supposed to perform. 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, so 10%, 10%, 10%. At the end of the day, you can see that the gain is actually 33.2%. So where the extra 3% come from, right? 6 on 5 is 30%. But there's extra 3% gain over there. That is the compounding effect in a strong trending market. So the real kicker of DLCs come in when you actually are able to capture a nice uptrend. And then from there, you can actually get more than 5 times that performance. All right. But on the flip side, of course, I say it's a double-edged sword. If you are the compounding effect does not work in a trend in a volatile market or a sideways market. All right. So if it's up, down, up, down, up, down, the DLCs might not give you that 5 times performance as you would expect. All right. In this example over here, it's down by 3% on day 1, down by 4% on day 2, but it's up by 9% on day 3. Overall, it's up by 1.5%, the Hang Seng Index in the 3 days. Whereas the DLC is actually down by minus 1.2%. It's up, it performs every day, close to close, minus 3, minus 15, minus 4, minus 20, plus 9, plus 45. But at the end of the day, it's minus 1.2%. When the underlying Hang Seng Index is up by 1.5%, right? This is because of the compounding effect again. Every day your gains and losses, in this case, your losses are locked in, right? So your losses are locked in, down to $2, down to 170. Then after on the third day, your 45% is off a lower base. Therefore, it's not able to get back up to that 1.5% times 5 or that 5% gain that you would expect on the 5 times performance. So you actually got less than 5 times leverage on this DLC. So sideways market, and volatile market like really like up down every day, especially in very huge amounts, like 5% a day, 4% a day, 6% a day, like Hong Kong stocks like that. The compounding effect will not work for you in that sense. Okay, so that's also another reason why we say that we should not hold the DLCs for long term. In the short term, you can still have a bit of like conviction as to how the underlying stock will move, right? Will it move uptrend in the next few days, or in the next few hours per se? But in the long term, markets tends to, mean reversion. It tends to come back down, or it tends to go back up over the longer period of time. Therefore, your DLCs might not perform as expected over the long period of time. So it's meant to be only used for short-term trading. All right. So this is the compounding effect. Every day your gains and losses are locked in. So just be careful of that. Please read up more on this website here as well. You can read up more with more sort of explanation and more illustrations as well that we have. But another place you can see the compounding effect is also the let me see. It's also the say, let's find a nice trending stock. We said Yang Zijiang, right? It's been going up quite good, right? So compounding effects, you can see we have this calculator over here. This is our Yang Zijiang DLC X1KW, and then this is the name of the DLC. Okay, you can see our historical compounding calculator over here. Wow, really nice uptrend. In the past 6 trading days, the Yang Zijiang is up by 9.7%. Oh, okay, so big. 9.7%. And this one times by 5 is actually about 50% lah. So there's only a 2.5% kicker on Yang Zijiang on the compounding effect. So there are more extreme examples where there is a lot more compounding to it. But this one over the last 6 trading days is up by 52%, 52.5%, an extra 2.5% because of the compounding effect. All right. But if you see this kind of thing over here, right? Okay, this is a bit weird though. Oh, because of the spin-off, sorry. Yeah. It's off. This calculator is off because of the spin-off that happened earlier this month. They spin off the Yang Zijiang Financial, right? Yeah. So they're not a good example. Let me see if I can find another one. Yeah. So this one up, down, right? Okay, this one is short, but this one is, you see, this is a very bad example lah of compounding effect. Yeah. See this kind of market where it goes a lot up,
intraday
down,
only.
Up, down here. What kind of M shape is this? Maybe it's just just because there's 2 markers presenting, there's an M shape giving us an M shape here. But in this case, it's very bad in terms of the compounding effect for you. You can see that it's down, Hang Seng Tech is only down by -0.2%, but then the Hang Seng Tech short DLC is actually didn't give the gains that you expect because of a very volatile market, right? But if you look at a very short-term trade, like between the 20th of May, then you can see that this is where you can get that 5 times movement. If you manage to capture a few days of a nice trend, 3 days of trades, then you can see that the 5 times movement is there for you. In fact, there's a compounding. 6% times 5 is about 30% lah over the 3 trading days. So yes, hold the DLCs for a short period of time, and you got to have some conviction as to the trend of the DLCs as well. Okay, so I think that is more or less what I have for the DLCs in this short session today. And I think the most important thing that I wanted to share with you guys really is the DLC hotline, 6226-2828. So please do give us a call on our hotline, or this hotline. My team and I will be on standby to take your calls during SGX market hours. So any feedback you have on the pricing, you don't understand any point about the DLCs, please just feel free to give us a call. We'll be there to pick it up. Don't worry. And we can explain to you how the DLCs work, or any questions that you have, or any feedback you have on the pricing of the DLCs as well. All right. So this is the most important takeaway from today. Remember this number, that you have this number that you can call to learn more about the DLCs or ask any questions that you have. But otherwise, also please check out the DLC promotion that Poems is having over here. So let me just click into it so you can see. You can come onto our page, onto the Poems page over here under promotions. You can find the trade DLCs promotion, and you can understand more about how it works and the T's and C's as well. All right. Okay, I think that's all for today. But maybe let's see if there's any questions that you might have, that people might have.
You have quite a few. Okay, one asked about should we trade the 0% outstanding quantity or 90% is better? I think those that is 0%, that means no longer outstanding available. We don't do them. I'll just avoid. I'm sure there are others DLC will do. If that one don't do, then move on to the next one.
This one is not very intuitive. I know some people get mistaken that 90% is better, right? Because outstanding, so you can still buy it. But no, this is from an issuer perspective. Sorry, maybe you need to correct this. But if it's 90% in terms of outstanding quantity, means that if we have sold out 90% already, which means that you only have 10% that you can buy. So the higher, the lower the better. The lower the outstanding quantity,
the lower the better. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's 10% outstanding or 0% outstanding, means it's better. Means you can just buy and sell it freely. Okay.
Of course, you can use this as a gauge. If you see one particular DLC sold out pretty well, maybe you will find some big trader buying, keep whacking this particular DLC, and they see the quantity has depleted, it could be an opportunity for you to place a trade as well. Sometimes there are some people who have some inside info, they whack Hong Kong already, then the stock no more, they don't know where to whack, they may whack your DLC. Yeah.
Or you can see some of the DLC funds under our markets tab. So you can see who's been buying what DLCs and stuff. So you can see people are buying long Meituan DLCs on the dip today.
Yes.
Don't know whether it's a good thing or not. But you can see how much people are buying and whether they're buying the long DLC or buying the short DLC, etc. So today generally a down day, so quite a lot of people buying the long days, buy on the dips. Right. And there's another question that is I think a really good question from this lady, this person, great thing. Is the commission the same as CFD? Good question. Very good question.
I think you should treat the DLC like stocks. I mean, the charge is similar like equities, like stocks. All right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So generally, I think if you ask this question, then I would say okay. Is charged based on the stock commission, etc. But just FYI on CFDs, sometimes I believe, do correct me if I'm wrong, but it is charged on the notional value. So you put in 2K worth of money to your CFD margin account. You are able to trade up to 10K, for example, right? You're given 5 times leverage. You can trade up to 10 times that. So you have a total notional exposure of 10K, and you are charged commission based on that 10K. All right. But if you trade the DLC, you put in $2,000 and then you can trade up to 5 times leverage, right? So 10,000 sort of notional exposure on the DLC. Even though you buy 2,000 worth of the DLCs, you're actually getting exposure to $10,000 worth of the stock, but you are charged commission based on that $2,000 only.
Yeah,
okay,
that's right.
Okay, I think that's all we have, right, Marcus?
Good. I'm good.
Yeah, anyway,
thanks
if you missed any part
coming.
of this, you can always check the recording. I think it'll be uploaded on
I think they'll post on the YouTube. Yeah, you can please, the hotline is available, right? If you all want to reach out to me, you all can also reach out to me and we can talk on the phone. All right. Thank you for coming. Thanks, Justin, for helping us host this. Marcus as well.
Thanks everyone for coming for this session today. And Marcus, nice webinar together.
Yep. Okay, have a good evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you everyone.
Bye.